sort of technical issues, and we're going to push through as usual. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, queens. Good afternoon, audience. Welcome to Chit Chat with the Journey Sisters. Today is December 3rd, 2022, and we are in the final episode of Chit Chat with the Journey Sisters for this year. Janelle, it's been 2 years, 24
Wow.
episodes later. Ha, 24 episodes later, 24
Wow.
amazing guests, men and women, 24 queens, 24 individuals on a journey that are touching lives that we would not be able to be in touch with not been on this platform. We speak to people in our community on a regular basis, on our job, in our family, but we have such a wide audience reach. Somebody needs something, and we don't know we don't know what they're going through, what they need to hear at this moment, and we're just here as their voice. This afternoon is no different from any other afternoon. We have an amazing queen with us, and she's oh gosh, she has a story, and sometimes we think that we're going through situations, and you just never know what somebody is doing. You look at us on the outside and you say, "Huh, she looks like she have it all together." You have no idea the power, amazing, the things that we've been through, the walk that we've been on, and the God that we know that has brought us to where we are today. And it's not over yet. It's not
It's
over
not
yet.
over.
Janelle, I'm going to let you introduce yourself as usual. I'm going to let our guests introduce ourselves, and then we're going to get right into this topic.
Well, I am
Go right ahead,
excited. So,
honey.
hello, everyone. Hello. I'm really excited, Alicia. It's December the 3rd, like you said. We got about 28 more days left in this year. And I'm so glad to all of our guests that are joining us via social media. And even for those of you that are watch this video after it's already done, as we reflect back on everything that we've experienced this year, all of the hurts, maybe the disappointments, the joys, the victories, we can get to this point and we can say, if it had not been for the grace of God, we would not be here today. And I can't believe that it has been 2 years, Alicia, 2 years. Time has just been going by. But
Yes,
anyway, I'm excited to be here and I'm excited
yes.
about our guest today as well. We wanted to, with this platform, God has given us the opportunity to reach into so many homes via social media. And, he gives Alicia these real off the wall topics, man. I'd be like, Alicia, okay, I hear you. But it resonates in so many different people that listen from so many different walks of life. And like we always say, we are all on a personal journey. We may not be in the same chapter of the same book, but we are all heading to our destination and our purpose in God. So my name is Janelle, and I am a life fulfillment coach. I just love helping people uncover their passion and really truly identifying who they are and their God given ability. And why are you here? And what has God really called you to do in this season? All of us, we have an assignment and we've been called to something. And so sometimes that assignment or that passion on the inside of us lays dormant. But I am that person that's going to ignite that passion, cause you to start thinking again, cause your juice to start flowing, and for you to get excited about who you are so that you can serve humanity with the best version of yourself. So I'm excited about today's guest. Tish, we're going to let you introduce yourself. Let our listening audience know exactly who you are, girl.
Well, I'm happy. I'm glad to be here on Girls. But what's the name of the show again?
Chit Chat with the Journey Sisters.
I don't know why I was gonna say Girl Talk just now. Chit chat with the Journey Sisters. Listen to me. I'm excited to be here on today. I had an opportunity to watch it before, and it was dynamic. So, hey, I'm here with two beautiful queens. I'm Latisha Sweeting. I'm from Nassau, Bahamas. Born Nassau, Bahamas. Raised Whimsys by Eleuthera, Bahamas. Proud to be the daughter of two wonderful parents, Bishop Ernest Sweeting and Pastor Natalie Sweeting. So I also walk in the capacity of pastor and prophetess. So, the apple don't fall far from the tree. I am a book author, book called Overcoming Pain to Thine Own Self Be True. I'm a gospel artist. I did it professionally in the Bahamas for 11 years. And now I am based in Miramar, Florida, where I am the assistant pastor of Life Changing Anointing Ministries International. And so, I have a lot going on this side, but most and foremost, I am little Tisha. I'm Tish. Yeah, I'm okay with just Tish. I'm the human with real issues and problems like everybody else.
Wow.
And it is my mandate, though, to take real hope to real people with real life experiences. Yes. And so I'm excited to be here today so that we can bring some hope to some folk out there who think that they're alone.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, we're excited to have you, Tish. I've known
Welcome, Tish.
I've
Welcome,
known her
welcome.
for
Thank
a
you.
very, very long time. I know her family very, very well. And I just know, Alicia, when you came up with this topic, I said yes. And I thought about who can we get to speak on this topic. We want to end the year strong. We're in December. We need to know that there is hope, Tish. We need to know that,
Mhm.
guess what? We're ending this year strong and we are excited and we're anticipating all that God has in store for us in 2023. And man, we going out of the gate running. So I wanted to, I was thinking, who can we get? Who can we get? And man, you know what? When Lil Tish said yes, I was like, look, that's exactly what this topic is today. I said yes. So, Tish, we're excited to have you, man. We're really excited. I know that you are a dynamic. She downplayed Alicia who she really is, and you know how we go. We as Bahamians, we don't really like to, blow our own horns. But this girl here, she will rip up a church in a minute.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so you see her there being calm. Don't let that fool you, honey. That's a dynamic woman, powerful woman of God that's sitting there in that seat. But we want to, one of the things that Alicia, one of her visions for this show is so that we can be transparent, because a lot of times, people are just used to that side of church where everything is perfect and nobody goes through anything. And so we wanted to create a platform where you get to know that, hey, guess what? We're just like you. Like Tish said, we've been through some things and God is still moving and working in our lives. But we want to share it with you, transparency, truth, so that you can know that if God can do it for us, he can do it for you. All of us have a story to tell. Wouldn't you say, Alicia? All of us got something that we've been through and God has taken us out of, and we're all headed in a particular direction. So, with that being said, Alicia, tell me, what was your mindset around this topic today? The last topic for the last month, for the last show of the year.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Janelle, I need no introduction. And you're going to be my voice this afternoon. The reason being, I am so emotional today. I had a word this morning, and every little thing has been putting me to tears. So even while I was sitting and listening to the pastor this morning, his topic resonate with, his sermon resonate with what I was thinking too. I said yes. Oh gosh, I can't talk about the times that I've said yes to something and wonder what in the world was I thinking. Did I mean to say yes, or was I saying yes for for looking for love? Was I saying yes just to have somebody be my friend? Or was I saying yes because I genuinely believe God was calling me to something
I think she's freezing up a little bit.
meant yes. And so when I thought about this
You're freezing
topic,
up a little bit, Alicia.
what did I say? What did I do? There are a lot of situations in life that we say yes to, not all of them bad, where you say yes to, and then you really, really, when you sit back and think about it, am I in the right place? Am I living on purpose? Did I confront God and find out if this is what He wanted me to say yes to? And then there's situations where we say yes, as in this where, and you banned me from saying I'm an introvert, but I said yes to a calling that I had no idea it would take me to this day. Again, 24 episodes later, I'm here speaking to an audience, although I can't see them, they can see me. I'm doing it, and it's such a gratifying feeling knowing that somebody needs to hear what we have to say. And had I not said yes to this, I would not have met so many beautiful spirits. You look at people on the outside and think that they're going through, oh, they got it together. Everything looks perfect for them. And not realizing that they're either going through it or still going through it or been through it, and they're on a journey as well. So I've said yes to some good and some whew, moments. And
Haven't
so
we
that's the
all?
point that I was going in. That was my question today. And so this afternoon, again, as a conversation, you can talk about the yes good things, the yes bad things. Okay, guess what? This is how we're going to do. We're going to end with the yes good. We're going to talk about the yes bad and what it did for us. How we overcame, why we're here, and we're looking to touch. And I
Yeah.
see
So
Jana, you're on red. You heated.
yeah, I want to hear from Tish, because this powerful woman of God, I admire her so much. You know, the things that she's been through, some people would have given up a long time ago, but she's still doing it. She's still pushing, she's still moving through. How does this topic resonate with you, Tish? I said yes. How does this resonate with you and your testimony?
Now I can appreciate all of the yeses that I've said to the things that I know I should have said no to. Most of
Wow.
our yeses are things that we know that we
Mm,
should have said no to. And but emotionalism, the heart, the mind, even
mm,
sometimes the spirit, because you may feel like you're in tune with God and you hear God, because guess what? When those emotions telling you this is it, you feel like that emotion is God. So nobody can tell you nothing else. So the reality is you have to live it. You have to go through it. My yeses led me down the road of destruction. I could have lost my life many times. I said yes to a young man who was 18 when I was 12. There I go. I knew I was wrong, but I said yes to him. That cost 9 men to rape me at the age of 12. And through all of that, I never said a word to my parents
mm,
until I was, I wouldn't say seasoned, until I made up my mind to serve God and to really preach. I had to be a witness to other women. And I didn't want my parents to find out over the radio station. I didn't want that to be the first place they heard about what happened to me. So I called them on the phone and I told them at the age of 22, 22 it was. I am so sorry. At the age of 22, the TV decides that it's going to kick in.
Right.
Okay, all right, good. I got it all. So I went through that, peer pressure, everything else started coming, and I just kept saying yes. I just kept saying yes to everything that was hurting me. Pain became my friend.
Mm,
So when you say yes to things, you would know that. It's almost like eating a piece of cake and you know it ain't good for you, but you
right.
can sit there and eat the whole cake.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So you find yourself now in a pattern of just saying yes to things, which you know don't make no sense. And so you tend to lose yourself. This is where depression came, oppression came, then suicidal thoughts. I got married at the age of 23, was with the man for 3 years, married for 7 years, boom, there goes the divorce. Went through fourth stage cervical cancer while in that marriage. And then when, infidelity kicked in, I decided to be promiscuous. Watch this now. God then healed me from fourth stage cervical cancer, and I still say yes to a man, knowing that I wasn't divorced yet. Hold on.
Mm, that's deep.
I said yes to that. And then the cycle continues because now you're a preacher committing adultery. Don't want nothing to do with the church because how did they allow that to happen to me with my apostle of a husband? How did the church just sit there and allow that to happen and treat me like an outcast? And he's still going on.
Yeah.
So I started saying yes now to everything that was not God, to everything that can possibly hurt me. The reason why I'm going on this road, see, I'm tired of playing the victim. I played the victim game for a very long time. And
Mm-hmm.
however, even while I may have been a victim to abuse, I refuse to victimize myself because I realize that even if the percentage of the acceptance was 3% of me, Janelle, I was the one that said yes. Nobody could make me do nothing I didn't want to do.
Right. Right.
So my question is, when is your yes gonna become no? So watch this now. Went through the divorce, Janelle. Madam Host went through the divorce. Came back from that divorce, wrote a book telling people how to live after divorce, telling people how to reinvent yourself. Because, see, I understand what you mean about becoming an introvert. Because I told somebody that too. I said, I was an extrovert. Now I'm an introvert. It's like I don't like to be around people too long. I can't take it too long. I could do it for a while, but then I got to pull myself in all because of these walls now, because of all of the
Right.
wrong yeses that I have made. See, these things open so many other doors. And so now I wrote the book. Listen, the book was selling, telling people how to reinvent themselves, and then boom, there I go, marry again to a man I hardly knew who was going through a divorce. I dated him while he was going through the divorce. I said, Pastor.
My God.
And I convinced myself, watch this, how we just convince ourselves that things right
Right.
when we know it wrong.
Right.
Trying to help you out with these yeses, what's supposed to be knows. Because for some reason, we put in our mind, oh, it's going to turn, it's going to be better, or it's going to work out for the best. No, let me tell you something. Whatever seed you sow, that's what you're going to reap. And how you building on a foundation that never was sure?
Right.
Say it.
How you expect something to come up strong if the foundation, actually there was never a foundation laid. So what is it standing on? Absolutely nothing. And so this is why I said yes, because I'm a pastor and I want to be married. And everybody feel like, okay, she can't be single too long. She need to get married because she's holding this position. I say yes because my parents are pastors and I just want them to be proud of me. I am saying yes for all the wrong reasons.
Right. Girl.
And so what I do now is I put myself in this place.
We all do that.
Listen, and then went through hurt after hurt after hurt, praying for the situation to change. Married knowing what the situation was. Oh God, I gotta laugh because see, I finally forgive myself. So my struggle now was, hey, you just get married again in February of 2022 and June of 2022 you divorce. Come on. This was the one time I had to say yes for me. Oh, y'all done let's miss that one.
Yeah,
Hey, hey,
they missed
friend.
that Tish.
This the one time I had to say yes for Latisha because I was like, listen, I committed suicide and did not die.
Mm.
See, everybody don't make it through the pills.
That's deep.
Everybody don't make it through the cutting on the wrist and the bleeding. Everybody don't make it. They actually die. But I committed suicide and I still here. So I had to catch some sense. And I said, even though it hurts, it takes pain to cure pain.
Come on now.
We looking for the party on the back. So I said, no, 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 no. I have to say yes to walking away. And I'm not walking away because I don't love the person that I'm with. I'm walking away because the person I'm with is not good for me. Now I
And
know vaguely I throw a lot in the air.
mhm.
So whatever you need to pick out of me, Janelle, that's your job. You pick it out of me. And I
Listen,
would help you.
listen, because what you were saying, and Tish, let me tell you something. That's why I like you, and that's why I respect you as a woman of God, because you don't sugarcoat anything. Okay, you know, in the islands, you can't really talk about things because people know who you're talking about. Child, you're disgracing that family, you embarrassing this one and that one. This is your story that you have been through, and you are allowing God to use it to help other people that could be going through the same thing. And if God brought you back from suicide, I spoke with a young lady on yesterday, and she was in tears, and I started to just minister her. I ministered to her, and I don't even know why. And I gave her a scripture to meditate on, and I told her to meditate on Psalms 139. When I said that to her, she just broke down and she said, you know, that was the scripture, that the last scripture that her mom read to her before she died.
Wow.
And she was just talking about, you know, how she tried to commit suicide, Tish, but she didn't try with the pills. She put the gun to her head. She said she owned the gun, and she wrote a nice letter, and she was trying to put the gun to her head to kill herself. She pulled the trigger. Listen to this now. Listen to this. And the gun jammed.
Wow.
She tried to pull the trigger again, and the gun jammed. And she said she picked up the phone. She called 911, and she said, 911, she said, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I got a gun to my head. I'm trying to pull the trigger, but the gun jammed. She said, I need y'all to come and get me because I don't know if I'm going to try and do this again. And the person on the other line was trying to talk to her and find out why. She said she don't have nothing to live for. Her mom died and left her. You know, she's a complete failure. She got all these degrees, can't get a job. She just felt like she had nothing to live for. Needless to say, fast forward, they took her to the hospital, checked her into a psychiatric ward. Because, you know, we scared of that. We scared of talking about mental illness. We ain't prepared to talk about that. That don't exist in the church. Not in the church where we lifting up holy hands and we praise him. We ain't got no mental issues in there. But so she had this issue. So she checked herself in, and they was running a lot of tests on her. They found out. They came back and they said to her, ma'am, you're pregnant. She said, no,
Wow.
man. She said, y'all, did y'all mix up? She said she had 4 miscarriages. She had 2 ectopic pregnancies. She knows she ain't pregnant. Fast forward today, her son will be 1 January coming.
Mm.
And this is what I was saying to her as I was talking to her and I was hearing her spirit. See, church people are so judgmental. The thing that they're worrying about, oh, she commit fornication. Let me tell you something. God would use the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. That son, God knew that she had a purpose. God, who created her, knew that when you reach this age, you're going to try and kill yourself. But I got a purpose for you, and you don't even know how great this purpose is. And she was trying to kill herself. And who you think jammed that gun? You think the devil jammed it? God blocked that, because right there and then he already know that that seed was inside of her. And that seed she called Judah is where she found her praise, her place of praise. And let me tell you, when you hear her talk about her relationship with God, it gives you the chills. So when I hear you speak your truth and your story, Tish, it does something to me, because I feel like you're speaking from a place of now being free. You can't witness to nobody being bound. You can't minister to no one and tell them how to get beyond a certain point if you still shackled. But you're not afraid to tell your story. But what I wanna pick on right now, and I'm gonna let you get your turn, Alicia. Because I know a lot of people say, well, listen, you didn't see the red flags. You didn't see, he didn't show you no signs that this ain't gonna work out. I mean, like you said, we know deep in our hearts the answer is no. Sometimes we don't even ask God because we know God gonna say no. I don't know if you get like that sometime,
As
Alicia.
red as this shirt is, I saw all the flag, every last one, and that's just it. We just see these flags, but we think that's the flag telling us to go.
Mm,
Green mean go, red means stop. I just want to remind you of that. Listen to me. It's so difficult because after experiencing this now, see, because I could only speak on this level now because I've been through so much and I've overcome so much things. Now, the
mm-hmm,
person who just starting off with, just experiencing little things and they feel like they're just losing their mind, I want you to know that insanity is a real place. Because me who been through so much, I witnessed insanity this year as well, to the place where I was trying to hit my head on the floor because no one could understand where I'm coming from, what I'm saying. I went to this counselor, the next counselor, the private counselor, the church counselor, all the counselor, and all they saying is you just get married. And this is normal in the first year. But I know what I was looking, I was not normal. You see what I'm saying? So at that point, I had to find the word called unbothered.
mm,
You have to get to a place of being unbothered in order to watch this now. Forgive yourself. Because many of us are in the category, because we know that we said yes and we should have said no, we beating up ourselves. How did I allow that to happen to me? How did I do this? How did I do that? How did I get here? And so you stuck now. You're bothered now from the hurt of what you've just come out of. And not all is relationship hurt. There's other things. But I'm speaking from my place. I came out of that and I spent 2 months crying. Thank God I had people because I have Latisha Sweeting Ministries International. Let me tell you all something. Let me tell you how cuckoo I am. I have to say it like this. See, because people want to know how strong, how come you so strong? It ain't that I strong. My strength, the strength you see, is the strength that God gave me to survive. But when I'm alone, I cry my eye out. I'm human just like you.
mm-hmm,
I cried my eye out, but I've learned this one thing. You can't stay down. You have to
mm-hmm,
figure out where you went wrong. All right. Now, somebody called me on the phone and said, Latisha, now you're going to need to let that little girl inside you die. Some of y'all still little girls. Some of y'all still little boys looking for the fairy tale type of love, what don't really exist.
mm,
And so what you do is you get caught up and you end up getting hurt so bad. You are scarred so deeply that you just want to take yourself out.
mm,
But let me tell you something. You have purpose here. You have a reason to live. And I don't despise nowhere I've been, even though I may have taken the wrong turn. I always tell people, grace. There's something called grace. And grace would dig a road for you to
mm,
get you back on the right path. And so I had some people with me who prayed for me, Janelle. And we won't get too super spiritual. No, you're gonna need prayer. I promise you're gonna need that. And so what the
mm,
Lord told me to do is the Lord said, don't say nothing, don't talk your business. Don't say nothing. Go on a fast and carry the whole of Facebook with you. I gone on the fast. While I was fasting, I was
Mm.
crying. I was hurting. I was dealing with how I feel. Some of y'all try to bury what y'all dealing with. Y'all try to bury your feelings. You worry about everybody else. You can't worry about mommy. You can't worry about daddy. You got to worry about that feeling, what you feeling, and deal with that. Because see, you taking on too much other things, and that's why some of us, Janelle, cannot heal. We supposed to already be done finished with this. Healing
mm-hmm,
then supposed to already done take place, but because we're trying to heal from the hurt that we've endured, and heal from the thoughts of other people concerning
mm,
us,
mm-mm,
one thing you can never do is change the mind of another person and how they feel about you. They
mm.
then come to their own conclusions, even if you're giving them the truth. And so I had these people with me. I went on the fast. And then one day I was speaking on Facebook. The Lord said, just blurt it out. Let them know you are married no more. And in 3 seconds, I said I was married in February, divorced in June. And I said, nope, I'm not retracting my statement. I'm laughing at it now. Did it hurt? Yes, it did. Was it embarrassing? Yes, it was. Did I take thought of my ministry? And see, that's another thing, especially being a leading woman. Janelle, because you was a lady too. in the church, being a
Mm-hmm.
leading woman, and you got these people who following you. But let me tell you something: who's supposed to follow you can remain.
Right.
Who ain't really for you, they can go, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay that I went into this for this to work and it didn't work. You have to come to grips and be okay with it. I have so much in here to say, and it's just running, and I see the time. But I got so much to say, and I'm trying to bring it in complete sentences for you to understand that, listen, that yes, you may have said may have been a mistake, but it's not the last for you. You can come up out of it and still succeed. I came up out of that. Sometimes I go places now, and the devil is telling me, "Put your head down. You should be ashamed." Who? Me? No, no, no. I confront this. I can lift my head up and I can walk. I don't care how embarrassed I am. I don't care how my heart feels shaky. Refuse to put my head down. I continue to look up. I can let you pick more out of me because there's so much more to say. But I want you to do your job.
I know you had something to say, Alicia, before, because I mean, I know this. I know this so well. When you step in the room, Tish, you know they talking about you, right?
Oh yeah, you know.
You know, and probably after you got done with that, Facebook phone started blinging.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they was calling, what's going on, you and your husband ain't together no more. Oh my God, I know. But and the thing is, these are the
Janelle,
same people who sorry. I think we have a lag. These
Yeah,
are
no,
the
it's
no,
same
okay.
you
It's
people
go.
okay.
You
who
Go
say,
ahead.
Alicia.
okay, these are the same people who rejoice with you while you was getting married, all the congratulations. Oh, I'm so happy for you, girl. You wait so long for this. Girl, and let me tell you something. When they heard that, but child, what she do again? Another one? Something must be wrong with her. Child, if I mind them, I won't live. If I tell people all the time, and then when you go kill yourself, the funeral there, everybody want to talk good about you again. So you see, this is the ways of human. And so you have to understand that some people will talk about you in concern, and some people will talk about you in the spirit of gossip. No matter what capacity it is, you have to be okay with it. They have to play their role in your life. It's a movie. It's a movie. Janelle, this is how I maintain my sanity.
Yeah,
Everybody have a role to play.
yeah. Jesus did. When Jesus chose his 12 disciples, he chose Judas, knowing that Judas was going to betray him. He knew it.
Okay.
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 But in order for the Son of Man to go to the cross, he needed to be betrayed, and he needed somebody to play that role.
Okay.
Okay. So you can't be, so you can't look at the whole picture and be like, well, these people talking about me. Let me tell you something. Out of your pain, you find your purpose. Out of your pain, you find your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus went to the cross, but he understood the assignment. The young people got this saying now, I understand the assignment. Some of us
Mm-hmm.
need to understand the assignment, and teach you understood the assignment. That you don't have to be silent, and you don't have to hold your head down low because of a mistake. And people of God, women of God, you can't be too high and mighty to say you made a mistake, to say you
Yeah.
said yes to something that you should have said no to. Because the truth be told, we knew you should have said no.
Yeah.
We was trying to figure out why you said yes in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't no secret. What they say, Teach? Child, I know that wasn't gonna last.
Yeah.
How you know?
They couldn't wait to say that.
But you
But right
still
there,
here. You still
congratulations. Oh, you look
Mm.
so beautiful.
Mm.
say what you saying, Alicia?
Janelle, I'm listening to you guys, and I know as I'm listening, and I know I've been very quiet from the very beginning because there's so many things that's racing through my mind. I love I love T's transparency. I love the fact that she's willing to just let it out there. People know that this is real. This is not a joke. I've been there. Not even 10 years ago, this year. And despite of what I've been through or going through, I'm here. I'm living this life. I have to face up to me. And I'm trying, like I said at the beginning, I'm trying not to get emotional. And there are things just adding to it. we have an audience that's very engaging. And I just had somebody private chat me that said to me, I need you. I need you. I need this. And it's emotional because I said yes to this. And I said yes to this because of things I've been through, things that I was
Mhm.
afraid to put in the open, things that, let me not just say things because I talked about it before, my abuse. And I could have said no. When you stop and think about it, I didn't ask for it. I could have said no, but wasn't strong enough to. I said yes because being vulnerable. And I kept saying yes because that's all I knew. That's what was implanted in me as a child. That you have to say yes. You don't say yes this when I could have said no. But the yes that I said then is making a difference today. So there are times we say yes to something and it is painful, it is wrong, we know better, we should, but there's a lesson in it. And because of what we've been through, I'm not a pastor's child. I don't know what it is to walk that path, but I am a child of parent that was in church, that held a position of a parent that held a position in society, that everybody looked at and expected the best from me, not knowing that I have something to say, I'm dealing with something. And so to go through a situation and then come, I can't find the words. It's I'm overwhelmed today. Having a message, I need you. What we're doing today, we're using pain, fessing up to our pain, looking at it, facing up to it, admitting the role that we play. And the others who are listening said, you know what, we're going through the same thing too. And we needed to hear it. And for somebody to reach out on the program and said in the middle of it, I need you, I need this. My yes was right. My yes had a purpose.
Oh
Am I
yes.
going to say yes again? Yes. Yes, with wisdom, because as we grow, we learn. And as we grow, we learn. And do we keep it to ourselves? That's where the difference is. Do we keep it to ourselves or do we try to help somebody else with the experiences that we have? And to listen to Letitia talk about being raped by 9 men and keeping that burden for so long, that's hard. That's something that do I move on? And to hear that you committed suicide and it's still here, that's strong. That's deep. Somebody needed to hear that about us. Why you're doing this? Why you think it's necessary to do business out there? Why you think it's necessary? You have a good life. You look like you have everything. Why you need to there? We need to hear. Isn't there enough program like this out there as it is? Yes, there is. But are they as transparent as we're trying to be? Are they genuine about it? Not. But we're here on a journey, and a journey that we can walk together. Jane started off by saying we're reading the same book, but that's what you said, right? But we might not be in the same chapter. But regardless, we are on this journey with different stories that can touch different lives. And it's amazing to find queens and kings who are willing to, just put it out there that I'm human too. I hurt, but I can grow and you can grow as well.
So as we're on this journey, we know that it's never an hour is never a long enough time for us to talk and just have this chit chat. But Tish, I want to find out. I know you've said yes to some things that you should have said no to, but how does, after everything that you've been through, how how has saying yes to yourself changed your life and your perception of what love is? Because when we go through hurt, when we go through that rejection, when we go through that pain, when we go through divorce, and all of us on here today have gone through that, when you go through that, your perception of love again, it's tainted a little bit because you're carrying the hurt, you're carrying the embarrassment, you're carrying all of that weight that's on your shoulder, and you're praying about it, and all you need is one person to come and whisper to someone else and you hear it. Then you back where you all started again, because you haven't fully healed and haven't fully processed out of what you've been out of, or came out of, and getting ready for what God is, where God is taking you. So, how does saying your yes to yourself now, how does that change your perception of what love is and who you are in Christ Jesus? How does that new level of yes now?
All of the yeses that I was supposed to say no to. I heard your question, but I have to say this before I answer that. All of them made me who I am now. Um, After each yes, after each pain, I found myself in a dark place, literally a dark place, physically in the natural, a dark place, and mentally in a dark place. And we're afraid of the dark, but you need that dark place for healing. You need that dark place for reflecting on oneself. Why do I attract the things that I attract? The things that hurt me? What's on me? And so I had to start praying that God would remove the residue, that I don't relive this. I realize, Jay, now that I don't have the will myself to do things. So this is where you have to deny self and allow the higher power to take over you. This is where you have to put your flesh under subjection and start fasting, because it's going to come back again. And it's going to come back again to see if you're going to still say yes to the thing that you're supposed to say no to. See, that's why I say we could talk about victimization all year long. We could talk about it, but the reality is each thing has a purpose. Each thing was orchestrated by God. I don't care what he know we was going to say
Mm-hmm.
yes to the thing we were supposed to say no to. But he knows exactly how much we could bear as well. And so when I think about it like that, and because I know scripture, I don't just know scripture, I try to live it. I try it to prove it. That's the type of person I am. See, there's certain things that you need to pick up in order to become strong as an individual. You can't just be about the journey and not really doing the things that the journey require.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though I felt many times, what stuck with me
Mm-hmm.
was you fall down, you got to get back up. Just don't stay there and die, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
means it didn't say everybody else around me got to get up and agree with me getting up. It's about me. It's a personal thing. See, this is where I go now to answer your yes. So when I said yes to Letitia, it then became something personal.
Mm.
Ain't about Janelle,
Mm-mm.
ain't about mommy, ain't about daddy. It's about me. For
Mm-hmm.
too long, it's been about y'all. That's why I said so many
Come
yeses
on now.
that I
Come
should
on.
have said no to. For too long, it's been about my pastor or my bishop or my apostle. For too long, it's been about them hooking us up when it even wasn't supposed to be so to begin with. For too long, you see. So now, because I have personal relationship with God, say study to show yourself approved. So I say, okay, now God, now what you want me to do? Let me go back to this. What I said, the bishop called me and said, you need to let the little girl in you die. I was the fat little girl with low self-esteem. Oh, you might as well just come be real, yeah. You don't
Come on
like
now.
yourself. There's something about you that you want to see change, and it ain't
Mm-hmm.
changing fast enough. So it puts you to a place of depression. And when you are insecure about yourself, you start attracting the people who will
Mm-hmm.
feed off of that insecurity and finish crush you. And so
Take
that's the life that
advantage.
I live. I was this fat girl, and I'm still a big, beautiful fat woman who still trying to lose the weight. And this is my preference. You may say you're okay with me, but I ain't okay with me. So I'm gonna continue to do what I need to do to make sure that I am okay for me. See,
Mm-hmm.
this is again, this is a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you need to shift within you, because sometimes the thing
Mhm.
that's dragging us down the most is us. So when I said yes to me, I said yes to me in the natural,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
said yes to me spiritually, and I said yes to me mentally. Everything about me, I needed to make whole, because I know the test is going to come. And I have to say this, and the Lord told me to say this. Somebody on here listening to this part, most times we said yes to the thing that we want, not the thing that we need.
Hmm.
Normally, the thing that we need for our lives,
Mhm.
even in the area of love, is the man or the woman that we don't love.
All
We
right now.
always love the thing that don't want us.
Mm. Woo, girl.
And
Okay.
Hmm.
then they would say, oh, you beautiful, you good, it ain't you, it's me. Then that wasn't for you, honey. But that man would right there, what would give you his paycheck? That that
Right.
woman right there, what would, my God, build you up as the king that you are, is the one you don't want. That's the one you can put in the friend zone. And you dying and losing yourself over somebody that you love so much but don't love you. I have to say it like it is, man.
Woo.
I
Drop the mic.
smile with it because
And
I
that's what
didn't
we
live it.
asked for. That's what we asked for.
I smile with it because
That's
I
what we
didn't live it.
asked him
It's
for
so
you to
my
say it as it
father
is.
said, Mhm. My daddy said something to me, and I run in with this, Chanel. Love who love you and not who you love. He said,
Girl, let me tell
Latisha,
you, you
I
better
didn't give
say
you my
that.
left and my right hand. You done married. I didn't give you away twice. I didn't give you left and right. Ain't no more hand to give.
He got to give you away with his foot this time. That's funny. Oh my God.
He's done with
He
that.
said,
He's done with that.
love who love you and not who you love. And mind you, you think I can get
Mhm.
married again, eh? Oh, yes, I will.
Teach,
You
they
think
gonna
I,
they gonna be waiting.
but they can wait as much as they will wait, because they will know when when I have my first year anniversary, or when the belly done swell and the baby come
Woo,
on the way. That's when they gonna know.
Lord, you hear that today?
I tell you, you gotta. And sometimes we just need to walk in silence, because sometimes some things are for you, but because you talk about it and you invite so much other people in your space, we wrestling against. We're not
Mhm.
wrestling against flesh and blood, but all kind of other forces and mechanisms in high places.
Mhm.
But this time, the Lord done instruct me in your business. That's my personal happiness. Hear what I say? Me. It's a personal thing. My marriage ain't for the world. My
Right.
relationship is not for the world. And that's where we go wrong.
Preach it, girl.
Everything we want to make
Mhm.
public. Everything. Oh, child, she's a prophetess. Who
They
she
want the
marry?
likes.
And the
They
child,
want the
oh,
likes.
don't look for me to marry no prophet, no pastor, no apostle, no none of that. Because I ain't got time for y'all. I saying it like it is.
Woo.
No, the stereotype of what people feel should be for you. No, you know what you can say, but Letitia, Charlie may have one earring in his ass, but he's a righteous man.
Come on now. Come
Or
on.
Charlie may not preach, but it look like he love her.
Right.
See, these the type
Yeah,
of
Latish.
that's
things where y'all can say next.
Right. Right. And like you said in your opening speech, is wanting to feel accepted, wanting to feel accepted and wanting the
mhm.
approval of others. That is what
Listen,
gets you in that position because what society say about him and his family. He's a good man. But
Janelle,
they don't know the
unbothered.
hell you
Yes.
catching
And we
when that
thrive
door
on that, Gene.
closed. Okay? So
Mm-hmm.
so this
We
time,
thrive on approval. We thrive in likes.
yeah, we we we
Unbothered.
oh, I love it. I love the unbothered. I hashtag
And
unbothered. I need all of you that are listening
on
and are following us live on Facebook right now. I need all of y'all to go ahead and hit hashtag unbothered, honey. Hashtag
on
unbothered.
Mm-mm.
Hashtag unbothered because
but you
when
see,
I
Janelle,
said
that's
yes
strength.
to me, When I said yes to me, to
Mm-hmm.
myself, to Janelle in 2020, my entire life changed. The old life that I knew was not existing anymore. It was non-existent. I changed everything about when my mind changed and God gave me that revelation and that I had that supernatural experience December 31st,
My God.
2019. When I had that supernatural experience, and I remember, and I shared this story in my book. For those of you that don't know, I'm an author as well. And my book called Emerge, the remaking of me, how God made me over, right? How I emerge, I rise up out of the ashes, and God made me over. And now I think for myself. If it's something that I don't want to do, I'm gonna say, you know what? I really not. I don't think I want to do that today.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna try to sugarcoat it because that's how you want me to say yes. If it's in an
Mm-mm.
engagement that I'm not feeling, I'm just more vocal now. I'm saying, sweetie, you know what? I'm really not feeling it. Maybe another time, but this time, and I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel
Yeah.
bad about saying no because I've said yes, run myself in the ground, and at the end of the day, when you pull the sheets off of me, I'm by myself.
Mhm.
So in when I had that experience, December 31st, 2019, when I was just crying out to God and watch night service, I said, God, I do not want my 2020 to be like my 2019. If it's gonna be the same thing, that you may as well don't let me cross over. Keep me in 2019. Let's just squash this right now. It ain't no need.
Mhm.
You don't gotta waste your breath. Carry me over to 2020 if it's gonna be the same thing as 2019. And I was just at that moment, and the pastor was saying the 5 more minutes to the hour. And it felt like it was just me and God in this one huge, gigantic room with one light beam shining on top of my head. And I felt this electricity hit me from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. And I don't know what it was, and I don't know up to the day what happened. But all I know is when I left that place, man, something changed. Something inside of me changed. Something took place in my mind that said, Janelle, open your eyes. Instead of sleeping, open your eyes and take a good look at exactly what's going on around you. And when I did that, God began to shift a lot of things in my life, and I became more vocal and walking more boldly with courage in my purpose. So, what are we saying to those of you today that are tuned in, that been through stuff, and you said yes to some things you should have said no to? Don't beat yourself up over the head because it was because of that pain that God was able to birth your purpose, and now you see who you are. And Alicia is a forgiveness coach. So the one of the first steps to healing is you got to forgive yourself. Don't even worry about forgiving the next person. You got to forgive yourself, because a lot of times we forgive the next person, oh, I forgive you. I forgive you. But that's not the thing that's keeping you in bondage. What's keeping you in bondage is the fact that you won't forgive yourself.
Yes.
That you won't let that stupid thing that you did go. You did it. It's over. Okay. It's already done. You can't cry over spilled milk.
Mhm.
That's what they say. You can't cry over spilled milk, so let it go. Let it go.
Mm-hmm.
And look yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, I forgive you, girl. Yeah,
Yes.
that was the dumbest, that was the stupidest thing you've ever done. But girl, I forgive you.
Yes.
You are beautiful. You got a purpose. And we're going to let the world know what God has done for us. That's one of the first steps you need to get to. So, Tish, before we
Mhm.
And
close this show, before we get to, because this is the last
Janelle,
show
Janelle,
for
just
the year,
before
so
you
I'm pretty
leave there,
sure.
Janelle, I don't know if you can hear me. Oh, I had my Janelle, just before you leave, I wanted to say it, and I feel like I wasn't even here today, taking all of this in. And
Mm,
I just needed to, sit and just let it resonate. I think about my yes moment, and I mentioned before I have a chair in my room, and I had God sit in the chair. I don't know if he was really sitting, but to me he was. And I had an argument with him. I said, you made me in your image and likeness, and I was told I was ugly. I was told nobody would ever love me, that I'm not going to be nobody. And yet, still, people look at me and said, "Oh, I see you for real. Are they telling the truth?" And I've said yes to so many things that did not work, and it's not going to happen, and I can't get nowhere, and I'm not a What are you doing? And he kept saying, "You have to." And I'm like, "No, I'm not doing this. I'm not saying no more yes. I'm done with saying yes, because all these years you said that you were going to do this, and you're going to make this happen, and this is going to take place, and it's not happening. What have I done? I've said yes so many times, and it's not working out. I'm not saying yes no more." And I point my finger and I argue, and I got up and I walked away from him, and I went back to him, and I was fussing with him, and I got under the covers and I said, I'm not talking to you no more. I'm done. And I thought about it. I said, if with him, suppose he decide to be finished with me, then what? If I say one more yes, what is it that is gonna? And I heard forgiveness. Forgive me. Instead of passing the mirror every time and just getting dressed to go out, and I'm looking in the mirror and, okay, you look beautiful. Stop and take a moment and look beyond that. Forgive me. Because if I cannot forgive me, how do I expect? I don't know what a forgiveness course. I don't know what it is to have a show. And I can't help. What is it to go and speak to somebody and tell them what they need to do on the journey I am? I can't tell nobody my story. And when I decided that I'm done with I'm done with this conversation, because I said what I had to say, and he said, "You're gonna listen anyhow. You're gonna do what I tell you to do, whether you want to do it or not. Get under the covers and get out. Because you still gotta get up tomorrow morning, because I'm not finished with you yet." And I mentioned what I was gonna do, and somebody said to me, "Why are you doing this? Who needs to know? Who cares? Why you need to talk to people? They have so many people out there talking to people about life." And I said, "See, this is what I'm talking about." But the voice kept saying, "I'm the one that you're saying yes to. You're not saying yes to anybody. I'm going to teach you to forgive you. And once you learn to forgive you, you can say yes to anything else without that fear, without that concern, because I'm right there with you." And yes, we're humans. We're not perfect. We're going to have these hiccups. Like Latish, wrote a book and told people how to live their life, but went back and said this. We're here learning. We're here growing. But so long as we know who is guiding us, and
Yes.
we occasionally, which we shouldn't be, we should listen, invite that voice in, he will guide it, because we're created for purpose.
Yes.
He wrote our story, and he know the end. It did purpose for us, and he did not orchestrate that story. Where would we be? He knows what's going on. We just have to live it out. And yes, we say yes. And if he didn't think that we could bear it, he wouldn't give it to us. He didn't give me Latisha's story with my mother long ago. He didn't make me a child of some past. Lord, he knows me. I probably would have, they probably would have disowned me. Right? But he knows us. And so it starts like with us, knowing and having that relationship with him. And having that relationship gives you a voice, gives you that personality that you didn't even think existed, because I didn't think I could do this. But it's not about us. It's about doing his will. It starts with one person and we speak to one soul. We are doing what he has asked us to do. I absolutely enjoy you, Miss Letitia, and I love that transparency, because this is what the audience need. This is what they want to know. We're real. We're not coming from a book. This is not something we read or something we studied. This is our life, and we're willing to share that with you. The audience this afternoon was very engaging, and the private messages that I received, oh, they're needed. They need us. They need him. And it's for us to just keep praying for each other and keep doing what we do we are supposed to do. Janelle, go right ahead.
Well, I just wanted, um,
Janelle, you can.
yeah, I just wanted Letitia to kind of just wrap up and just speak a word of hope over those people that are watching as she give her closing remarks. I mean, I'm Janelle. I'm your life fulfillment coach. I'm the one that helps you to uncover your purpose and really get you excited about the reason that God sent you on the face of this earth so that you can walk in your true calling and become all that God has called and ordained for you to do and be from the foundation of the world. And I love doing that because it gives me so much joy to know that people are walking in their true calling and not trying to imitate and be someone else. So, you guys know how to reach me on Facebook. You know how to inbox me. You know how to, reach Alicia. But what I want you to tell us as we get ready to close this show, the last show of the year, Letitia, just speak a word of hope over that person that feels like this is it. I can't make it another day. I've been hurt too much. They've been talking about me. I am done. I'm done with God. I am done with life. I am done. Speak hope into them today.
You're not done yet. What is your response? What should your response be? Your response should be, I messed up. Your response should be, perhaps I didn't mess up. You know, I was just dealt a bad deck. And it's okay. Some things come faulty. God never did anything to you. Um, I went into the church and I met this one, and it's supposed to be God. The church is the worst place in the world. That's what you may say. And I'm not going to defend the church because the church is the worst place in the world. It was designed to be the worst place in the world with blameless leaders. Everyone goes to the church for a fixing. Everyone has an infection. That's why we go to the church. So in the church, you may find somebody who is just not yet being cured of their infection. So you have to look at life like this. I will make some mistakes. Some mistakes will find me. The enemy is going to try because of that thing called purpose. Destiny must be fulfilled. And when you get to the understanding of this, and this is why I'm still saying today, especially if you're in God, you will endure some suffering. But blessed are those who were persecuted for righteousness' sake. You must suffer in order to be an overcomer. We don't want to experience no pain. But pain is something that you must walk through. But I want you to know that when you go through the pain, the fire, and all of these other things, you're coming out. I don't want to say as pure gold, but you're coming out refined. You're coming out better. Each time you go in, you're coming out better. And it is not for you, it is for somebody else. You need to know that you will make it. You will be what God has called you to be. You went through it for reasons, for purpose,
Amen.
for a purpose. You may not see the purpose now, but later on you will. If I could say a yes again to everything that I know I should have said no to, I would do it all over again. Why? Because guess what? I God had me to stand in arenas where I was able to save women that wanted to take their lives, women who had to have abortions because the husbands didn't want the babies, or the boyfriends didn't want the babies, or the parents didn't want the babies. Women who were cast out of churches because everyone was being judgmental based on what they did. Women who have lost all of their money by giving them money to the man, and then the man just threw them out after he had used them. Listen, there's so many different scenarios. You
Mhm.
are there to come out. That's your
Amen.
purpose. You have to come out. You will come out. You will make it. I'm here. I'm still here. I'm still preaching. Do I go through? Yes, the enemy then tries and some melts my way. What I know I supposed to say no to, and guess what I did? I said no. Because I've learned it took me 10 rounds. But on the 11th time, I got it.
Mhm.
I don't care how long it takes. Stick in there because you're going to get it. But you have to make up in your mind to become unbothered. You have to make up in your mind to become intentional about your mental state,
Mm.
your physical state, and your
Mm.
spiritual state. And
Come
when
on
you are
now.
intentional, sorry, about being the best you that you can possibly be, then you will realize that everything around you will start to line up. You will start to attract the right set of people, and God will open the doors that you were promised. Why? Because now you're ready to obtain the blessings that He has promised you. And that's my closing statement.
Amen. And how do we find you? Where do we find you?
You can find me on Facebook. It's easy to reach me on Facebook, Latisha Sweeting. Just inbox me. I always get back to people that inbox me. So you don't have to worry about inboxing and I don't respond. I will. Whatever it is you wish to talk about, I'm here. Just a text away. And so I welcome each and every one of you to reach out to me if you need me. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for telling your story, for just having this conversation. I'm Alicia Alexander, your forgiveness coach, and that did not come easy. I want to let you know that you are worthy. You are created for greatness, and you are here for a purpose. There are times when you
Amen.
go through situations like I did, and I didn't want to live. I didn't think that it was, why me? Why not somebody else? Why do I have to feel this? When does it stop? And as you're going through it, it's the most challenging thing to deal with, especially if you want to keep it a secret. Because even if you decide you want to talk about it, like Letitia said, everybody points a finger at you. She, what? Really? And then you try to keep a secret and you're dying on the inside. I used to have a lump in my chest that I thought it was cancerous. I thought, I went to the doctor so many times and they couldn't tell me what it was. And I come to realize the minute I decided to forgive and start loving me, it automatically disappeared because you're internalizing it and you're dying slowly, not even realizing what you're doing to yourself. And I just want to let you know that it's not about the world, it's not about the likes. It's
Yeah.
not about how many people befriend you. Once you have that relationship and you realize that it's about you, protect you, and then you can go after everybody else, forgive you, live on that purpose. It is not the easiest thing to do. So as much as we're sitting here and we look all pretty and we're talking and we look like we are, it is not easy. It's not an easy journey. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say it is, but it's a necessary journey. It is necessary, and there's a reason why few what is it? Few are called, many are called, but few are chosen.
You are chosen.
We were chosen to be that voice. We were chosen to let you know that despite what we've been through, what you're going through, there is hope. There's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There's hope. We're moving lives. We're touching souls. We're changing our own lives as we listen to each other's story. And the more you listen, is the more I'm learning, because we're learning.
Mhm.
I can be reached as at on the Facebook at She Forgave, and as my namesake Alicia Alexander. And we always here willing to listen. If you can't get in touch with these young ladies or anybody else that's been on the program, you could definitely reach out to me and I'll go right ahead and get you in touch with them. I thank you guys for joining us. Our audience has been very engaging. They've been very supportive. There's some who might not make any comments yet, but we'll probably call afterwards. But for those who join us, we just want to let you know that we're here for you. We're your voice. Please feel free to share. Please feel free to reach out. Please feel free to let everybody, even if you have a word for someone, you might think, well, I'm not a speaker. I don't know what to say to anybody. Just the way in which you live your life is a testimony. And sometimes all it takes is one word to let you know that there is hope. Moved to Georgia first. When I visited Georgia first, I went to a particular bank, and the greeting I got at the front door, immediately I wanted to work for that company. Because the smile of that employee made a difference. We don't know the difference we make in somebody's life just by saying hello, saying good morning, having that smile. We don't know what they're dealing with and how we can make that change for them. It's the end of the year. It's the end of the show. We did go over, and always never long enough. But we were happy that you were able to join with us today. And we are going to wish you a happy new year, a happy new year, a prosperous new year. God's blessings, and we will see you next year right here on Chit Chat with the Journey Sisters. Have a good day.
Bye bye.
It's not, it's always here. It hasn't ended. I'm trying to end it. There we go.